All right. Hello and welcome to Run Good Lifestyle, the Sportsbook edition. And again, we welcome Sammy DeBull. Welcome, Sammy.
Thank you.
So we're going to do basically we talk about what's coming up in week 11, college football. But first, not the power rankings, but the rankings for the top 12 playoffs came out this week. And I'm just going to run down the 12 teams. Ohio State, number 1, obviously. Indy, number 2. Texas A&M, number 3. Alabama, 4. Georgia, 5. Ole Miss, 6. BYU, 7. Texas Tech, 8. Oregon, 9. Notre Dame just cracked top 10. Texas, 11. And Oklahoma, 12. I have a few thoughts on a couple of these teams, but I'm going to let you go first, Sammy. Give me your thoughts on these first rankings out.
Not too surprising to me. What I would say is the AP is a little different than this CFP.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like the CFP values the Big Ten a little more.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at that. I just really looked at, the only thing I'm really concerned about is this. That's interesting. Do you remember some of the differences?
Iowa, as an example, I don't think is in the top 25 in the AP, but they're 20 in the CFP.
Yeah, I saw they're 20.
Yeah,
that's one of the games we're going to be reviewing.
And Washington, I think, holds true as well. You asked about if I have anything, and you said you had a couple of things. I'll bring up one thing here. Notre Dame is sitting at 10 with 2 losses. Where does Miami sit? Do you know?
I don't think I don't know.
I have the answer. I was just wondering if you knew. They're sitting at 18 in the CFP.
Okay. 18. So, well, Notre Dame's always going to get the nod over
sure.
Almost
but bear with
anybody.
Me here.
Just go ahead.
And again, these things all play itself out. This is more for a topic of conversation, to bitch, to do whatever. But it's all going to play itself out. But for week 11,
I agree.
For week 11 and week 1 of the CFP coming out, Notre Dame and Miami have a very similar schedule, and they both have 2 losses. Notre Dame's loss, however, is to Miami. So head-to-head, not Miami gets the nod, but yet Miami is 18 and Notre Dame is 10. I think that's a big gap there.
Yeah, it's not even close. Yeah, I don't know all the things that go into figuring these orders, but it's definitely a bias towards Notre Dame. It always has been, and it always will be.
You can say that about Ohio State as well.
Well, I don't think it's unitarily like that with Ohio State, but Notre Dame it is. I mean, no matter what poll, there's different coach. When they used to do the coaches poll and the AP poll, it was always biased towards Notre Dame, and I think some of the issues with that is they're not in a, not issues. I think some of the reasons why is they're not in a conference, so it's hard for them. It's hard to gauge them. It's hard to get a true, I think a true and fair gauge of what their strengths and weaknesses are. That being said, I don't think either team deserved to be in the top 20 in my opinion. After watching Miami play last weekend, they cost me against you, so I'm really a little bitter.
Good. I love when you're bitter. I will say I brought that up just because I thought it was a little bit of a disparity. However, I disagree with the Notre Dame aspect of things with you. I think Notre Dame is a legit team. If you look
they
at
may
their
be
losses. They don't have any big wins, although they pounded USC and they just ran the ball down their throats.
Right.
And I don't think that score was even reflective of how much they dominated. So I have no problem with Notre Dame being 10. I just wanted to point that out. Miami is on a worse trajectory in a bad way, whereas I think Notre Dame is on a trajectory of a good way. But
yeah, but
I don't think that should count. Like where you're projected or where you're going to go, those games haven't been played yet. So
right.
Again, I don't have a problem with Notre Dame being there. I just thought it was a little odd.
Don't you think Miami's wins are better than Notre Dame's wins?
No.
Okay.
I don't have Miami's schedule up right now, but no, I don't. Who have they beat? That's very good.
Well, I mean, LSU? I think they play in a tough conference, and that's one thing that I think it gets overlooked. I mean, I say tough.
Don't think
they play in a conference, which
fair enough.
They play in a conference, which conference games, I'm sorry, are different, and that's always been my argument with Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they play the service teams, which they've actually got it better over the last few years, but those were always games that just weren't a fair matchup, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out in the next couple weeks.
Let's go to you. You said you had a couple of comments about the CFP top 12. I think you're referencing the top 12 because the top 12 get in.
Correct. It's a 12-team playoff this year. That's right.
I'm not sure that's 100% reflective because you have the conference champions that automatically get the bid. So you could be sitting at 12 and not get in.
Sure.
That's what happened to Alabama last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure. Yeah.
But go ahead. You had some comments. And
I mean, I'm going to get into the one Texas A&M a little later.
Okay.
And, I think when we talk about strength of schedule, Oregon, they're sitting at 9 right now. And I don't know if you heard when the committee talked about Oregon, they really gave them not a good warm and fuzzy feeling about their strength of schedule. And I think that will have some bearings this week because they have something. I think they have something really to prove this week. And
can I comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
I think this is the next few weeks for Oregon are going to be very pivotal.
Oh yeah.
They play after the game against Iowa at Iowa, and we're going to be reviewing that.
Right.
They play at Minnesota. Then they play. It may be a home game, but they play Minnesota. They play number 20 USC, and then they play at number 24 Washington. Washington has not lost a home game in years, other than Ohio State.
Yeah, I was going to say, you forget about Ohio State.
So I think, like I mentioned before, it's all going to play out.
Right.
At a surface level, I would have thought Oregon, easily making the college football playoffs. Now that I'm looking at their schedule, I think they've got a real tough road. I'd give them less than a 50% chance.
Wow, that's interesting. I give them a little better than that. I mean, say what you want. I mean, Minnesota, they should take care of business at Minnesota. I think it's at Minnesota, isn't it? I'm not.
No, I think they're home. I think they're. Well,
okay. Well, regardless, either way.
Week. Mm-hmm.
Either way, I think that's going to be a game they should obviously be favored in and win. And same with USC. And we saw what Ohio State did to Washington at Washington. So if they're going to be a playoff team, which I think they are, I'll
do a side bet with you that they're not, but that's.
I'm afraid we'll talk about that, but I'm already 2 games down. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely do a side bet with you because if you don't think they are, I'll bet. I will definitely take that bet.
Okay. One last thing that I want to say about Oregon. I don't think they get enough credit about the Penn State win. I think they are completely responsible for the Penn State downward spiral.
Oh yeah, that was huge. I agree with that, and I also think that they didn't take Indiana. I won't say didn't take them seriously because they aren't. Indiana's not overlooked now, but if I was reading a little bit about their game plan and their offensive coordinator, and I didn't see a lot of that game, so I went back and just looked at it. And this is why I think they are a playoff team. they were trying to be tricky, and I think, well, I don't. I've got a lot to say about Oregon and that game, so I'm going to save that. But
Okay.
I'll take that bet. The more I think about it, the more I like Oregon. So anyway, I'll take that bet, and I guess we'll move on to the games we're going to review. The games that we're going to review are Ohio State and. Purdue. That's right. that wasn't even on purpose, but that's what I feel like about this game.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Purdue. We're going to also go over Indiana, Penn State, and Texas A&M, Missouri. Oregon and Iowa, and BYU and Texas Tech. Texas A&M and Missouri. Did I say that?
You said BYU, Texas Tech, which is going to be a good one.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think these are good games. I mean, we're only doing Ohio State because we're Ohio State homers. Sure. So I'm always going to do that. And plus, they're number one. So and same with Indiana. Except I think that's a little bit of an interesting game. We're going to see if Penn State has actually quit. But let's start with Ohio State at Purdue. It's 29.5. You don't have to give me your pick yet. But give me your breakdown on what Ohio State, obviously, I think it's just all about what we do. I mean, if we don't, I'll go ahead and I'll leave it at that.
Did you say the spread's 28?
29.5.
29.5. Okay.
Ohio State's favorite, by the way.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to break down here. I mean, we know Ohio State. We know them well. They're just so balanced on offense, on defense, run, pass,
special teams. I mean, I haven't seen a weakness, or I haven't seen a team present a weakness other than, I still say, a team that has an accurate passer with it doesn't even have to be a good running game, just a decent running game. Mm-hmm. I think our defensive backs are not able to do one-on-one consistently against a good throwing quarterback that actually has a running game. We just have too many penalties. That makes me nervous. But
what about the Washington quarterback?
Yeah, but we got so much pressure. I don't know how many times we actually went man-to-man or had to go man-to-man, because we got our front was just dominating that game. We crushed the run, and then they were forced to pass, and we just pinned our ears back. And yep. I don't think we did a lot of man-to-man, honestly.
Alan, what is your definition of a trap game?
Well, I mean, obviously a team that can be overlooked, and I don't know if you're going that with Purdue. I just don't. The only thing that I'll give Purdue, but to answer your question, is when you have a big game after the game that you're playing, and the preparation, even though you might be there, you're prepping as you normally do, but when you're mentally not there, then that can form a serious trap.
Yeah. I asked the question because, and this may sound odd, I'm going to go the opposite of what you thought I was going to.
Okay.
This is a trap game for Purdue.
Trap game?
Not
okay.
For Ohio State.
All
Purdue
right.
was coming off a very emotional, close game with Michigan last week.
Yeah, that was shocking, honestly.
Yeah, shocking to me as well. So I think that Purdue gave it their all against Michigan, couldn't get it done, and then now they've got to face the number one team in the nation, albeit at home. But I think it could be a trap game for Purdue, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, because I don't know. I played football, but obviously at a high school level. But when I look at teams and these seasons are longer than they've ever been, and to get fired up and mentally and physically ready to play a football game is different than any other sport, just I think because of the physicality and the number of people that have to be on the same page on every play at the same time, that there's going to be a game where I think that you're going to have a letdown or whatever. You're just not going to play your best, and I still think that this isn't a trap game for Ohio State just because of the talent level, the differential of the talent level. But I do agree with you that it's going to be hard for Purdue to bring that up to the same level they were last week. That being said, they are at home. Every team, I just think every team that Ohio State faces is up for the challenge, or up to playing their best and giving it their best shot. So I see where you're coming from, but they're playing Ohio State and they're coming to their hometown. They don't want to get embarrassed. They want to put their best foot forward. It's just a matter if we're able to we don't have to do anything fancy. Just be us. Just do us, and we'll be fine in this game.
Hey, let me make a comment real quick, and I know we've been talking about Ohio State-Purdue game for a while now, but you were an athlete. You were a college athlete, as was I. And you talk about a long season, and I'm just gonna make this as elementary as possible. But you go to, especially this time of year, you go to practice. Probably dark outside when you start practice. Mm-hmm. You're done with practice. It's dark outside. You even in high school, right? You go to school, it's dark outside. You get back out of school from the practices, it's dark outside. Where I'm going with that is, it's a daily grind, regardless of the sport. You practice every day, practice some conditioning, a level of conditioning that's involved in all sports, some more than others. And it's just like the long season, like you mentioned, we're now on week 11 and the letdowns, and, whether that's Ohio State or any other team, it's just a grind. You've been doing it now for the last, 3 months. Day in and day out. And how do you get excited? Because Purdue, you're going to Purdue. I get all of that, but I do think that there is a Ryan Day factor, and he is exceptional at making sure that his players are not complacent. And I think that's what sets him above and beyond most players.
Well, I think yeah, I can't agree more with you on that. I think he's set a level of expectation almost to a professional level. Let's face it, these players are professionals. They're getting paid to play, and I think Ryan Day has accepted that and wrapped his arms around it and coaches it as an NFL type mentality. And you bring that professionalism every time. And I just listen. I know you. We get the opportunity to listen to a lot of the Ohio State players do interviews and do different things, and just when they talk, they're just well trained, and they seem professional. The right things. Yeah, and I think that's attributed to not just Ryan Day, but the whole program, the whole system. So yeah,
you mentioned last week that Ryan Day had to put his ego aside and hiring in all these big name coaches, whether it be Chip Kelly or Matt Patricia or whomever. And you would also mention last week that's not something Urban Meyer probably could have done. And I think as a result of Ryan Day doing that, his players are seeing that, and they're not selfish.
Right. No, that's a good point. I never thought of that, but that's a great point. Yeah. I just think he just has everything that from a college athlete's perspective that you would want, and from a parenting perspective, you would want your kid to play for him. Sure. And as a player, you would want to be coached by him. Great players want to be coached. That's when people talk about, especially nowadays, kids nowadays sometimes don't really appreciate being coached. They feel like you're being picked on, but the old adage still applies. Great players love to be coached. They love to get better, and when you have a leader that you can respect and follow, like Ryan Day, that's just a win-win.
Hey, I'm going to cut this off because we have spent a lot of time on the Buckeyes, and we've got 4 more games.
Yeah,
to go through.
yeah. All right.
Are we going to make our picks, or are we going to do that at the end?
Well, let's do it at the end. Let's go on with Indiana and Penn State. Indiana's traveling to Penn State, the old whiteout. Penn State's 0-5 in the Big Ten, and I guess I know. I think it comes down to this line 14.5 in Indy's favor by, which seems to me so small. Started out even lower. I think it opened up at 11.5, and it's just been rising, but it still seems low to me. And I guess we're going to find out if just Penn State quits or not. I mean, that's the bottom line to me in this game.
I wonder if their fans are going to quit too. In other words, a whiteout game. I don't know what time it's being played, but I'm assuming at night.
I don't even know if it's a whiteout. It just seems like it's every time Ohio State played, it was always a whiteout. I just call them the whiteout country.
I was told when they lost to Northwestern that a lot of, similar to what happened with LSU and their fans, a lot of the fans just started walking out, booing. If the fans are in it and if the players are in it, I think it's going to be a better game than most think.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I'm a college football fan. I hope so, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this game because it's sort of like Ohio State.
Let me say a few things. Let me say a few things. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think Penn State was able to establish the run and move the chains a little bit against Ohio State last week.
First quarter.
I was surprised, and I think they had a good game plan. I think their quarterback has got a 62% completion rating, and that's not half bad.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah, think about what they've done. They played at Iowa, which is a tough place to play. Since that quarterback's been there, right? Since Drew Aller went down. Played at Iowa, tough place. Play at Ohio State, tough place. Now they're hosting Oregon. I think this quarterback is a better fit for the Penn State team than Drew Aller.
That's a hot take.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think Aller's garbage, by the way. And I think he may be a lot better in a better situation.
Yeah, I think it's hard to evaluate any of these players under Franklin. I mean, like we talked about this before. They had, if not the number, I think it was the number 5 recruiting class 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, it was a stellar class, and all those players, I don't know if all of them, but the majority of them are still there. And I've told you this before. I'm not a big Franklin fan, and I think it's hard to evaluate any of these players that played under him. I just don't think he put them in the right position to succeed.
I'm not going to get into this and drag it out. It may be time for another podcast, but Franklin turned that team around when he first got there. You got to give him a little bit of credit. I'm not a fan.
Well, I mean, there wasn't really. Yeah, I agree that. I mean, I think he was a good recruiter. Because he got the talent. I mean, there's talent there.
They had all those sanctions from the whole Jerry Sandusky and Joe Pa thing, right? And I think O'Brien was there, came and went, if I'm not mistaken, and a few others. But Franklin was the constant that turned that team around. And I don't think he gets enough credit. But unfortunately for him, he set the expectation level. He brought it back to where Penn State is used to expecting, what they're used to expecting.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
we'll move on. I know you don't want to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, well, the next game we're going to go is number 3 Texas A&M at Missouri, number 22. Right now they say Texas A&M's front runner in the SAC, and they're coming off a bye week.
Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I'm going to get into why. All the talk. If you're a Missouri fan or a Missouri player, and you're listening to all this talk about Texas A&M and how good they are, I mean, I think this has got to fire you up. I mean, they're number 3 in the country, with, in my opinion, the weakest SEC schedule of all. They haven't had to play Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, or Ole Miss. So on that side of the coin, they need this win for some substance. Even though Missouri got beat by Vandy, I really thought, and I watched that whole game, and I really thought Missouri was the better team. And when that quarterback went down, just really the wind went out of the sails for that team. They still were in it, but I thought they outplayed them with a few exceptions. But so anyway, that's my opinion. I'll let you go now.
A&M's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I agree with you that they probably have I'm looking at their schedule right now. They have the weakest schedule out of most SEC teams. But Auburn's a solid team, not great. They beat Auburn. They beat Notre Dame. They beat Florida, who is not ranked, but I think that Florida keeps games close, and they have a good defense. Texas A&M scored 34 points on Florida. Texas A&M on the road is a better team than they are at home. They've scored 40-plus on the road for every road game. Now, granted, I don't know exactly.
I would like to know who those teams were, but go ahead. I mean, I
think they're deserving for now because they haven't lost. Right? Again, it's gonna play out. Their biggest defense is against the run. Their biggest weakness is against the run.
I was going to say, yeah, right.
Missouri has a true freshman quarterback because the quarterback you mentioned, Bo Tribula, is out.
Yeah, but some say Zollers is even. They feel he's better. Is it Zollers?
Perhaps, but he's a true freshman.
I know, but hey.
I think if A&M
freshmen could be good too,
which they should do, that game's gonna be lights out for Missouri.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. I think we'll have something to say about this later on. All right. All right, let's move on. Oregon at Iowa, and we sort of touched on this a little bit. Oregon's flying across the country, well, not all the way, I guess, to the Midwest from Oregon, and it's going to be cold, windy, rainy, but more like Oregon weather. Honestly, I don't accept the cold, and I don't think it's that cold there. But they're coming up against a defense that's ranked 2 overall, I think, and just really a lockdown defense. And with their defense, and Iowa now has a quarterback that's mobile. I think he scored a touchdown in every game.
Really? Because I don't think that Iowa scores many points.
I could be mistaken, but I thought I heard that somewhere that they had a quarterback that scored a touchdown every game. But maybe I'm wrong there too.
No, I just know they don't put a lot of points up.
I mentioned earlier about the committee sort of calling out Oregon for having a weak schedule. So I think Oregon has a lot to prove here. I still think Oregon's coach is one of the better X's and O's guys in college football. I think he's a slick coach. And I think these two teams, which is really, this is going to sound really weird, I think Oregon is more physical than people give them credit for, and I think Iowa is more athletic than people give them credit for. So I'll stop with that and give you a chance to give me your opinion.
I've said what I've needed to say about Iowa. I'll recap. I think they don't get credit for the win at Penn State because obviously Penn State's supposedly a not so good of a team right now. So they're taking away a lot as a result of Penn State not being good. But I think that Penn State was good when they played Iowa. I think that Iowa did what they needed to do to win that game. And unfortunately, it's not a big win for them now. I'm sorry, I'm saying Iowa. I mean Oregon.
I know what you meant, but yeah,
it's not it's not being factored in. But the last thing I'll say about Oregon is they're a year early from what they were supposed to be. Next year is really they're supposed to be very good. They have a lot of young players, but good with talent. And the fact that they started off so good set an expectation level. And they're still there with the expectation level. I just think that they've got such a tough schedule, including this week, that they lose one more game, they are out of the playoff picture.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you on that. I just feel like I think they had their wake up call. I think they're super talented, and I think they're pretty balanced on both sides of the ball. So, and I like their coach. I mean, I don't like him personally, but I think he's a good coach. So we'll see how it plays out.
One last comment. I like him because they got screwed last year in having to play Ohio State early on in the playoffs, and he did not gripe about it. He didn't complain about it. He said, our team needs to go through whoever we need to go through to win a national championship. It is what it is. Other coaches would have sat and cried and bitched about it when he took it like a man, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right, the last game before we make our picks is going to be the BYU, number 7 BYU at number 8 Texas Tech. Very, very, very interesting game here. I think it's BYU is coming off. I think for BYU, this is probably one of the biggest games of their, at least in my lifetime, of their program. They're on the road, and they're going against a Texas Tech team that I think is pretty solid. Now, Morton, the quarterback, he's prone to turnovers, and I think that's going to be the key to this game. Can BYU turn him over, and can they do enough on offense to score? Now, Texas Tech, just a quick little fact, I think their defense is top 5 in almost every defensive metric, but they're almost dead last in special teams. So my prediction. Yeah. So I'm not saying they are dead last, but they're towards the bottom, and so they're very good in everything but special teams. And I remember Urban Meyer, who I'd hate to bring that up, another Ohio State thing, but he always prided himself on the special teams, himself coaching it, because he felt those were the things that turned games in close matchups. And this is a close matchup, so something to watch.
The spread's 10.5.
The spread's 9.5.
9.5. Okay, change.
Yeah, I have Texas Tech minus 9.5.
Okay.
Oh, that's one thing we forgot to say about Iowa. Iowa's a 6-point favorite. Or I'm sorry, Oregon's a 6-point favorite. And so, Iowa getting 6 at home.
Last I saw it was 6.5, but that may have been a few days ago.
I'm just going off what it was this morning. Okay. So, like I said, these are the lines we're going with for you and I's.
Sure. So you started off this game, or talking about this game, and you said it's a very interesting game. What makes it interesting?
Well, I think both teams have something to prove. Neither one of them are standing out like, hey, we are playoff teams. Neither one of those teams. So I feel like the team that doesn't win here is out of the picture. Even though we're talking about a 7 and an 8 ranked team, I just feel they drop drastically, whoever loses.
Okay. That Texas Tech home field advantage is going to mean something. That crowd, I'm told that is one of the top 5 hardest places to play.
My good buddy Tim Edwards is a Texas Tech Red Raider.
Would he tell you the same?
I haven't really talked about how that home field was advantage-wise. We haven't really talked much about. We had a lot of stories about Texas Tech, but that wasn't one of them.
I'd probably like to hear the other ones. They're probably more interesting.
Yeah, he is like me. We've traveled and had many good stories to tell.
a couple of tidbits from my perspective about this game. BYU's quarterback is good, but he's also a true freshman. And I'm not sure he's faced a defense in this away environment that I don't think he's faced something like that all year. And it's going to be tough for him, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be the key. I don't think he has to go out. Well, I shouldn't say have to. I mean, he's going to have to make plays. And I think if he can make enough plays to keep the offense on the field, and when it comes down to a big special teams break they're going to get and win the game, I think that's going to be the difference.
I know what you're saying about Urban Meyer and what he says about special teams, and I believe all of that. But I also believe that special teams is the easiest thing to fix. Okay, so
maybe.
Are you talking about missing field goals? If you're missing field goals, then score touchdowns, right? So
yeah, I think it's, when you're talking about the ranking, it's like everything else. You're talking about kickoff coverages. You're talking about kickoff returns. You're talking about it all. It's a catch-all. I get it, but
pump the ball out of bounds. Give them another 10 or 15 yards if you're afraid that they're going to take it to the house. Right? I mean, there's certain things I think, in my opinion, again, I'm not a coach, but
you stayed at a Holiday Inn Express.
There you go. I have done that.
Okay.
I'm actually in a Courtyard Marriott right now.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Shout out to Courtyard.
All right, are we going with our picks here? What do you want to do?
We're gonna start off with last week's picks. I went 2-3.
What did you do?
I went 2 wins and 3 losses.
Are you sure you had 2 wins? I thought you had 1.
No, I had the Indiana and Ohio State win.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I had 2 wins. Jeez, you went 4-1. I mean, holy cow! Give me a hard time. You trying to cut me 1 loss?
Hey, by the way, when Ohio State was at halftime up only by 3, I pressed the bet. I think that's the right term for. I pressed. I gave 11.5 at halftime, so I won both times on them.
That was a smart bet. So is that what it's called, pressing?
When you look at craps, when you press it, you're kind of like doubling down and golf.
I don't know. I just wonder if that's the right term. All right. So this week I'm going to have to make a great comeback. I'm going to take the first game first. Then you're going to take the second game.
Of course. And you're going to put Ohio State as the first game because I'm taking Ohio State with the points.
Right. We're both. Well, I'm just going down on the order. You want to go first?
No, I don't care. Go ahead.
I mean, the winner should have whoever's leading should have the option. I'm going to make that rule. It's my podcast. So I'll make it if I want. So you choose. You want to go first or second for the first one?
I want to go second if I get the choice.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to take Ohio State.
I knew you were.
Shocker. 29.5. It's a lot. And after Purdue gave Michigan a hard time, it's going to be. I'm not super happy about that pick, but I just feel like
I'm confident.
So you're taking Ohio State too?
I am, yes.
Okay. I'm marking these down. OSU, Sam. All right, yours next on this one.
What game?
Oh, sorry.
Iowa, Oregon?
Texas A&M, Missouri. Texas A&M 6.5 point favorites at Missouri.
All right, let me look at my notes here. Oh, Missouri's got the true freshman quarterback. Texas A&M is going to load the box because that's what Missouri's going to try to do is just run the ball.
Well, they run the ball anyway.
Yeah. And I think that A&M plays very well on the road, so I'm taking A&M.
Okay.
Giving up 6.5. 6.5.
Sam's got. Well, I think they're going to have to run the ball, and I think that Missouri's defense doesn't get enough credit, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think they're both going to try to establish the run, but I think Missouri. I'm taking Missouri, a home dog. I just think they're going to get it done. I think they should have beat Vanderbilt. I think they have a little bit of chip on their shoulder, and go Missouri.
Missouri's a solid team.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think they're getting enough credit, and the fact that I feel Texas A&M is a little overrated. I think I don't see them as a number 3 team in the country right now. They haven't proved that to me yet. A win here maybe gets a little closer, but I'm taking Missouri.
Okay.
All right. Next, Indiana, Penn State. I go first on this one. This line.
What's Indiana given? What's the spread?
14.5. I mean, I want to find a reason to take Penn State, but that line just seems so little. And I think Indiana's for real. This quarterback's could be the number 1 pick in the draft, or number 1 quarterback pick. I don't know about the number 1 overall, but I think he could be the number 1 quarterback. I think their defense is good. I'm taking Indiana at Penn State, giving up 14.5.
I want to find so many reasons to take Penn State in the points. And I already told you, 62% completion rate by this QB. Their running game did something against Ohio State and moved the chains a few times. Good play calling in the first half, at least. But I'm with you. I think Indiana's the real deal, and I think that Indiana's going to put the foot on the pedal and run the score up. So I've got to go with Indiana as well.
All right, Indiana, both of us. So we only have one.
I want to find a way for Penn State. I just can't find it.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. So the fourth game is going to be Oregon at Iowa. Oregon giving up 6 points.
Okay. I don't, because we were going to bet this, not necessarily this specific game and this specific spread, but I think you know where I stand.
I do.
First off, I think Oregon is a good team. I do. I like Dan Lanning. I think they're a well-balanced team. But I think that the weather is going to be a factor. And I think that this is one of those nasty, ugly games that Iowa loves, and it fits their style of play. And I'm going to go with Iowa plus the points.
Okay. I knew you're going. I knew. I think you know where I'm going to go with this. Now, as I said before, I think these teams are changing identities. I think Oregon is a lot tougher and a lot more physical than teams, or than people give them credit. Plays more like an Iowa team, and I think Iowa is a lot more athletic than teams give them credit for. More like Oregon's perceived. But I really like Oregon. I think they're gonna grind it out. I think it's okay that it's gonna be nasty weather. I think they're okay with it because I think they are physical enough to step up with that defense that has proven to be pretty stout. And I'm gonna take Oregon.
Were they stout against Indiana?
Well, Indiana was an anomaly. They have been against everybody else.
Okay, fair enough.
Indiana's number 2 team in the country. Give me a break. We'll see.
Oh, wait a minute. You're right, they are. And guess what? Iowa played them tough, too.
Really?
10-point game, but it was closer than 10 points in my mind.
Okay. Well, of course it is in your mind. There's a lot of things in your mind. All right. Last but definitely not least is BYU, number 7, playing at Texas Tech, number 8. Texas Tech is 9.5-point favorites. And do I go first or do you? I think it's me. I'm going with the BYU Tigers. Is it the Tigers? Anyway, I'm going with BYU, and I think that the freshman quarterback makes enough plays, and I think the defense holds the mighty Texas Tech running game down, and they turn over Morton a couple times, and they come up with a huge special teams play to win the game. I think they
all
win
over
out.
the special team stuff.
I think they win outright.
Okay. I think it's a blowout on the other end. I'm taking Texas Tech, given 9.5. I think the crowd's going to get into this game. I think it's going to rattle this Bear Bockwell, or whatever his name is, from BYU, the true freshman quarterback. He hasn't faced a defense like this, and he hasn't been in a hostile environment on the road like this before. And I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the time next week when you either kind of get even from your deficit last week, or you're going to go really down
in the hole
badly.
Well, I think I like my picks.
You did last week too, didn't you?
All right. Well, I'll tell you, you heard about that dog that pisses quick, right?
You got to refresh my memory.
He doesn't piss long.
That's okay. I can take a break, and every Saturday, that's when I save my pissing for.
All right, funny guy. All right, a couple games of interest that we're not betting on this between us, but Georgia at Mississippi State's an interesting game. Georgia favored 8.5. Who are you liking that?
Georgia just gets it done. Georgia plays ugly sometimes. I think that's a big spread.
I do too.
I didn't research it enough to tell you, but
I don't either.
And I don't know a lot about Mississippi State, honestly. So, I think Georgia gets the win. I don't know that they cover.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like Georgia wins, but do not cover. And the other game, it's sort of like from the Penn State, Ohio State game last week, we have Alabama at LSU. These two teams hated each other, or I'm assuming they still do. And big rivalry now that, the coaching change and all that's gone on with LSU. Do they show up and the fans show up with the same kind of vigor? What's your thoughts on that?
I think LSU's defense hasn't played very well lately. I think LSU's offense has sucked all year. And I don't think they don't have Brian Kelly, which is maybe a good thing for all I know. But it's in Tuscaloosa. I think it's a blowout.
Oh, I thought it was at LSU.
Let me look that up.
I thought it was I wrote down at LSU, so maybe I'm wrong. It's -7. I think if it was at Alabama, it'd be more than 7.
Who do you like there? What do you think?
I think Alabama blows them one.
It's at Alabama, by the way, and it's a night game. It's a 7:30 game.
Oh, okay, I was wrong. Okay, yeah. Well,
It doesn't happen very often.
No, yeah. Mark this down. Should I put a marker in the video?
I've already got it down. Don't worry.
I'm wrong all the time.
I'll bring it up next week.
I'm used to it. All right. Well, that does it for the Run Good lifestyle. I'd like to take a
We're not talking any poker.
Oh, okay. You want to talk some poker?
It's up to you. I know that some of your crowd and your fans and your followers have asked. My followers, shout out to Gabe P. from West Virginia. Shout out to Ben from Avon. And shout out to Sammy from Annapolis, Maryland.
Sammy, slamming Sammy. So, yeah, the big news as far as poker goes is the NBA players getting cheated by the poker pros. And I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. Now they're talking about it's cheating in the game in the NBA, and I don't know where all this goes.
It's so early on that I don't either. I don't have a lot of commentary on it, Al. I haven't been following up on it as much.
Quick story with one of the poker pros that was a first initial poker pro. Months, it might have been even over a year ago, to say that this game was dirty and people were cheating and getting cheated was Matt Berkey. I don't know if you know who or anything about Matt Berkey, but he has a coaching Solve for Why, it's called. He's a well-known cash player in the Vegas community and tournament player with that. But anyway, I played against him in the World Series of Poker when I ran deep day 5, but I was day 3 and I was up against Matt Berkey. Quick little hand recap here. I have Queen Jack of Hearts and the flop comes 9 of clubs, 10 of hearts, King of Hearts. So I flop the nuts with the straight flush draw, with a royal draw, flush draw, and I was out of position, so I check. Matt Berkey bets, I raise, he re-raises me, I ship it, and he snap calls with pocket kings.
What was the board?
9 of clubs, 10 of hearts, King of Hearts. I have Jack, Queen of Hearts.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. So he immediately says, well, I have outs, and he rolls over King, King, and the Ace of Hearts comes on the turn. And he goes, well, I have 0 outs now. And I busted him for the tournament. So that was a funny Matt Berkey. Well, funny for me.
WSOP main event?
Yeah, this was the main event. Yeah.
Wow.
Day 4 or day 3, I think it was actually.
Yeah, maybe we can get him on one day to talk about it.
I ran into him in Maryland one time, and I brought it up, and he's not very personable. I mean, I don't know him as a person, but you and I were actually in Maryland playing at Maryland Live in the tournament. He sat right beside me in the tournament. I brought it up, and he's like, you know how many hands I play a year? I said, but how many hands do you lose to a royal straight flush? He didn't find that funny. I didn't even throw it. Yeah. But all right, well, maybe we'll talk a little more poker next time. And this seems to have gone on a little longer than what we normally do, but always enjoyable to have you on. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Wentz Insurance Agency, our sponsor. For all your insurance needs, call Wentz Insurance, 740-653-5535. And that's a good job. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And I want to thank you for coming on, Sammy. I know we were usually do this on Wednesday, and we were not able to do it. So
I have a homework assignment for you.
Okay, that's just what I need.
I need to know, not that I'm going to lose our running bet totals, but I need to know what my consequence is should I lose.
I'm still
thinking about that last week.
I'm still thinking of it, but it doesn't look like it's good. I'm going to wait till I can get into the running before I make something up.
I got to know what I'm up against.
That is fair. Fair enough. All right, I will. I actually forgot about that again, and I will definitely bring that up, or I'll think something up for that. But for those who tuned in, thank you. I appreciate it. Subscribe and like the channel. Ask some questions. If there's anything you want to hear more about, give us a shout. And not sure when we're going to be able to do it next week, but we will be back on sometime soon. I'm going to do an NFL podcast either tomorrow or Saturday morning, not sure yet, so I will shoot some information out about that. But thanks for supporting us, and we'll talk to you next time. Until then, everybody, run good.
See you,
Sam.
Bye.